I had a great summation worked up. It's full of some real fancy lawyering, but I'm not going to read it. I actually owe you an apology. You see, I'm new at this. I do not have much experience in the courtroom, but you cannot hold my client, Carl Lee Haley, responsible for my shortcomings. You see, in all this legal maneuvering, something has gotten lost. That something is the truth. Now, it is incumbent upon us lawyers to not just seek the truth, but to find it, to live it. My teacher taught me that. Take Dr. Bass, for example. Now, obviously, I would have never knowingly put a convicted felon on the stand. I hope you can believe that. But what is the truth? That he's a disgraced liar? Well, what if I told you that the girl he was accused of raping was 17? He was 23. She later became his wife and bore his child. And she's still married to the man today. Does that make his testimony more or less true? What is it in us that seeks the truth? Is it our minds or is it our hearts? Now, I set out here to prove that a black man can receive a fair trial in the South, that we are all equal in the eyes of the law, but that's just not the truth. Because the eyes of the law are human eyes, yours and mine. And until we can see each other as equals, justice will never be even handed. It will remain just a mere reflection of our own prejudices. So until that day, we have a duty under God to seek the truth, not with our eyes, not with our minds, where fear and hate turn commonality into prejudice, but with our hearts. We just don't know better. I want to tell you a story. I want you to close your eyes as I tell you this story. I want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to yourselves. Go ahead. Close your eyes, please. This is a story about a little girl walking home from the grocery store on a sunny afternoon. I want you to picture this little girl. Suddenly, a truck races up. Two men jump out, grab her, drag her to a nearby field, tie her up, rip her clothes from her body. Then they climb on. First one, then the other, raping her, shattering everything pure and innocent in a fog of drunken breath and sweat. And when they're done, killing her tiny womb, murdering any chance that she has to bear children, to have life beyond her own, they decide to use her for target practice and start throwing full beer cans at her. They throw them so hard that it tears the flesh all the way to the bones. And then they urinate on her. And now comes the hanging. They've got a rope. They tie a noose. Imagine the noose getting pulled tight around her neck. And with a sudden jerk, she's pulled into the air, her legs kicking and screaming, trying to find the ground. The hanging branch isn't strong enough. It snaps. And she falls back to the earth. So they pick her up, throw her in the back of the truck, and drive out the Foggy Creek Bridge, where they toss her over the edge and she drops some 30 feet to the creek bottom below. Can you see her? Soaked in their semen, soaked in their urine, soaked in her own blood, left to die. Can you see her? I want you to picture this little girl. Now, imagine she's white.